Jake Tapper on Sunday interviewed one of the guys, one of our foreign advisors. I forgot what his title is exactly right now. You'll see it in a minute. Anyway, as it turns out, Jake Tapper was really rough on him for the particular support of Israel policy of the total blockade of Gaza. Let's go ahead and watch what Jake Tapper did as far as talking about Israel blockading Gaza and how America seemed to speak from two sides of its mouth, depending on who we're talking about, quote unquote, who we think are human beings. I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it directly on the other side.
The United States has taken a very clear stand. It is a stand that we don't just take in this situation, but we've taken all along, which is that we stand for the rule of law, we stand for the law of war, we stand for the protection of civilians, and we want to make sure that innocent Palestinians who have nothing to do with Hamas can get to safe areas where they will be safe from bombardment and where they will have access to necessities like food, water, shelter, and medicine.
Well, I mean, you say you stand for the rule of law. Again, Hamas is vile. What they did 8 days ago, they're targeting civilians. It's horrific. But what's going on right now is not just a punishment of Hamas. More than 700 children have been reportedly killed in Gaza. And obviously, electricity, food, water supplies have been cut off by Israel to the totality of Gaza. Obviously, the blockade is not just by Israel, it's by Egypt too. Take a listen to what Secretary Blinken said last year when Putin was targeting Ukrainian infrastructure.
Heat, water, electricity for children, for the elderly, for the sick. These are President Putin's new targets. He's hitting them hard. This brutalization of Ukraine's people is barbaric.
Now look, Israel is not Russia. Gaza is not Ukraine. It's a different situation. But cutting off supplies, cutting off heat, cutting off water to civilians, what's the difference?
Well, first, thank you for saying that Israel is not Russia, because Israel is not Russia.
But
Second,
civilians are civilians,
before,
Jake.
we are in constant contact. Yes, absolutely they are. And they deserve, as I said before, access to water and medicine and food. And we are working actively to ensure that that happens. And I can tell you this morning, Jake, that I have been in touch with my Israeli counterparts just within the last hour, who report to me that they have, in fact, turned the water pipe back on in southern Gaza. That has been the subject of discussion over the course of the past few days. The United States is going to continue working with Israel, with the UN, with Egypt, with Jordan, and with a lot of the groups on the ground to make sure that innocent Palestinians get access to those basic necessities and are protected from bombardment, because they deserve that right, the right to those necessities and the right to safety and security every bit as much as Ukrainian civilians do or civilians anywhere do. And the United States hasn't made any bones about that. We're working hard on that. We're working to make sure that that is the case as this unfolds. And it's something that has been a high priority for President Biden, for Secretary Blinken, and for myself.
But you're not telling the Israelis to let the Palestinian hospitals have power.
Our position is that hospitals should be able to function. Hospitals should not be targeted. People should be able to get access to life-saving medical care. We don't qualify these statements. We don't say that there's some kind of caveat to them. These are simple, clear, declarative statements.
Yeah, these are clear declarative statements, and we just make the statements and assume it's so. No, this interview occurred on Sunday. Supposedly, they were going to have Egypt the borders on Egypt open soon. People are dying and starving. Israel continue to bomb innocent civilians. They claim they send out leaflets. Yes, they do sometimes. They claim they send out fake bombs to let folks know that that particular building is likely to be bombed. That neighborhood is likely to be bombed. But ultimately speaking, no water, no oil, no food for all these people in this very, very thin, open-air jail. Where is the humanity? I understand all the bad things that Hamas did, killing over 1,300 Israelis in in Israel a few days ago, 2 weeks ago. I get it. But now we have over 4,000 something Palestinians dead by bombing. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're out of oil to run their generators at hospitals. They're out of Israel is saying go south, but there's no petroleum to go south. Folks, what I'm saying is think about this. The kind of massacre that is occurring, the vengeance that is occurring right now in Gaza, it's not going to help a situation. What it's going to do is create more hate. It won't only be hate by terrorists. It'll also be hate by the common person that was at this point reachable.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.